Well, hello there, everyone. How are you all doing on this fabulous Thursday? And it is a fabulous day. I hope your day is like mine and Jenny's, because quite frankly, we're just having a fabulous day. So, we're fabulous people on a fabulous day with a fabulous group of people, and that just makes it fabulous. So, that's all I can say. And if
Fabulous.
you're it is a fabulous day, isn't it? Let me just speak favor over everybody as I get the bus out of here. Uh, and favor abounds here. If you speak it, you'll create it, and then it'll happen. It really does. Nothing missing, nothing broken. And even if we're not in that place of perfect peace, we're heading towards it because I kind of look at it like this, Jenny. Every step is another step of manifestation. So,
Yep. Another stitch in your tapestry, another step in your saga. Everything can be
yeah,
brought into favor. Even more negative times, it depends how you react to them,
I
as to
always
what you
look at
can.
it, it's like a cocoon, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You dig out what you can take from it and go forward
yeah.
and not in
Protects me,
judgment.
you know,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
around as I
Lessons
turn my
learned.
phone off. All right. So anyway, if y'all are here, you know that this is kind of a real special thing. When Jenny and I, wow, when we first met, that's been a while
Quite a while.
back.
Yeah.
It's really, we used to do more readings, and
Hmm.
life is what it is, and it has its serpentine ways. And so you generously said, I'd like to do it again. And I said, far freaking out. That's the
Yes.
FFO. Yeah.
FFO.
FF, far
Oh,
freaking
freaking
out.
out. I
So,
love that.
um, and so you know what FTD is?
No.
In the death industry, it is a term the nurses use, fixing to die.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I'm going to do a show. I've learned a lot from these beautiful, beautiful, what can you say? They are angels that aid in, when people are transitioning, and it's quite something. But anyway, we're here today because people would like to know things about them, Jenny, or things.
No
I've
better
got about
subject.
15 people on the list, and if we get through all of them, and then we'll try to take some more.
Yep.
So, first
Give
come,
me the
first
first.
serve, right?
Da-da-da-da-da.
By the way, how is Theo? Everybody
He's
wants to
doing
know.
much better. He's keeping fluids down now. He hasn't really got much of an appetite, but he's feeling much more comfortable. And he's using the tuning forks for his headache every few hours, and it's taken it away for him. He says it disperses it. So they're
Wow.
just, like this type. So he's using the smaller ones of these and he puts them at either side of his ear. I've taught him this, and you can feel it funneling through the
Yeah.
energy. So he's using that. He's doing real good. He's taking his vitamins. Phew, happy mummy.
Such an enlightened soul.
Oh yes, he's a pleasure.
Wow. A little envious because, imagine, and I'm speak to many of us out in the listening, and hello everyone in the chat room, you beautiful folks. Um, it's like, gee, just a little bit envious. Could you imagine having a mother like Jenny?
Oh, oh,
Seriously. I mean, talk
yeah.
about coming in and beginning to have an advantage in life in this realm. I mean,
Oh yeah,
seriously.
I don't disagree with that. I'll stand in front of my babies for everything, and I'll push behind them for everything too. They're a pleasure. They
So you're going
are.
to testify, right? I'll
Yes.
testify to that. Just say hello to everybody. Hey, Scotty boy, what's up? And again, Rick, just big congratulations. I mean, cancer free. That's a way to go. Gaia, how you doing? Bonnie, Lady Ellie. All right, so Jenny,
Yes.
I'll turn this over to you because you are now in the pilot seat. I'll give you the names and we'll just start down that. Ginger, Lauren, sweet Lauren,
Ginger.
she was actually first
Okay.
and she wants to know specifically what the cards have to say about love and spirituality or spiritual.
Okay. So, Ginger, my sweet, sweet Ginger. So we've got the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So that's the underpinning energy of the reading. So you can see the people are outside of this church-like building with the stained glass of the pentacles. So pentacles are earth. So you're feeling a bit outside of things in your physical life. You're feeling a bit isolated, or there's a wall up somewhere where you're partitioned off. The five, though, is a transitional point. It's a midpoint. So it feels like you're a little bit, or have been a little bit out in the cold, um, in a physical way, i.e., love. That would make sense to me that you're ready for that, or you're getting ready for that. You're building that energy, and so you've started to feel the lack of it, maybe, or the space that you're creating for it. So it's not necessarily a negative that I feel for you, Grace. It's more that you're building a space where you're allowing your feelings to feel that there's a place that could be filled there, that there's a potential there for love in all different shapes and sizes to come into that space. Previously, you've been doing the Hermit card, the number 9. So you can see he's hunched over. It's a very plain card, is in his beige garb, and I call him the deaf and the mute God, because he doesn't need to speak. He holds that lantern up into the rocky insides, which is what you've been doing, getting to that transition point, working out where is love for me? What does love mean for me? What kind of space do I want to build love into be? And actually, it would speak about learning to fall in love with yourself more so that is actually what will be the ultimate magnetism to bring in the love that you are creating that space for. So it's there, you're building it, it's all in your manifestation, like Wayne said at the start of the show. The next card is another 9, so you've got two nines. um is the 9 of Wands. So you can see here this guy looks a bit battered and bruised and a bit tired, a little bit like Theo feels at the minute. Um, but he's holding his staff to keep him upright, and that staff really means discernment here. So you've learned to use your discernment by being brave enough to explore self in the 9 with the Hermit card here, being allowing yourself to feel space where you feel a bit empty, and because otherwise, how would you start to build that space and nest that space out into something else you want it to be? But practicing discernment, going back into self and out of self, back into self. And I would love you to paint your inner walls, Grace, with the type of colors of love that you want, that your body speaks to you and says, this is how I want to feel. This is who I want to feel it with. This is how I want it to be. Because actually, it's the painting of that inner canvas in these two 9 realms, with the 5 that being the change, that you are super powerful. And then Grace, my sweet, sweet,
It's
sweet goddess,
Ginger. It's Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Um, I keep saying Grace. We've got the Sun card. So the Sun card is Major Arcana. This speaks out. So where you've had to maybe walk on the outside for a bit to feel that space, where you've had that 9, speaking about discernment, maybe you've gotten a bit fed up with discernment. That's a perspective thing. Change your perspective on it. Use it now as a challenge to go deeper within self, to find more of what you are and what you want to magnetize in. Then you've got the Sun card. You bring all of the light in. You're not in the cave anymore. There's true enlightenment, and from within, that's where your beacon will come from, both spiritually and in the love aspect of your life too. Both of them being intertwined with you very much, so that there's a lot of love on the spiritual side of things, on the etherical side of things, that is formless, that wants to come in and be with you and fill that space and dance with you in that space. It's that sun from within that is going to magnetize out and bring in everything that you desire, and probably quite a lot of messages in sh all shapes, forms, and sizes, feathers, pennies, like different small amounts of money being left in places where you don't ever usually have change anymore, things like that, songs that come on, you're going to be very in tune to that.
Well, Lauren, I know some of things, because you and I share a couple of things. That was pretty spot on. Of course, Ginger, you'll have to speak for yourself.
Excellent. Who's next?
Doctor SY wants to know, can I ask how many cards in your tarot deck?
This one's a 72. Um,
72.
and some of them vary. But yeah,
Ah,
70.
okay. All right. Um, Okay, the next one I have on my list is John Price.
Oh, John. Hey, John. What have you got
What's
for John?
up?
What's up,
What's up?
brother? So we've got the Fool card as the first card, Major Arcana, John, 0 point energy. Need to find that inner child again, but truly set it free. You know, I see you doing weird things with trolleys just because you can when you're in the shops to find your joy. And that's not a neophyte thing to do in the space that you're in. It's actually a very adept thing, but you keep holding yourself back with the devil card, two major arcanas, John. You're going to be full of energy, aren't you? So finding that inner child, but it's almost like because you've been tied with certain brandings that you've given yourself and other people have given you over time with this devil card, the chains that bind you kind of thing, you've sort of got a distorted view of who you are, who you've been, who you can be. Because of these chains that you're still allowing to hold you down, rather than seeing every link in that chain as experience, more experience to be frolicking in the Rocky Mountains without too much care because your intuition is on point. Why? Because you've done a lot of things, John. You've been a lot of people. You've enjoyed a lot of things. See those links in the chains with the devil card as that, as a foundation, rather than something that holds you back. Let go and let go and let go some more of any of the labels that have held you into a certain capsule in life, a certain space, a certain character. You're free form right now because of this 0 point energy that you're not quite used to. So it might feel like you're going to fall off the edge of a cliff sometimes. That's your body trying to find an equilibrium with the amount of energy that you have flowing through you again. It's as if you've opened an energetic gate right now. And although that's wonderful, it can feel exhilarating, but full of adrenaline too. Don't mistake that for the labels that you've cast upon yourself in the past for something negative. It's more that your body's assimilating. So you probably have had lots of hairs standing up on your arms, things like that, jumping in your sleep, and you know that you've jumped in your sleep as if you're falling off a cliff, things like that. So it's a reframing. Now the Six of Cups comes in, and that is emotions. So you've got two major arcanas, the Six of Cups. This speaks to emotional, generational messaging. It speaks to emotional past messages coming up, maybe, and your body and spirit asking you to process that, to reframe a memory, to look at it from a different perspective, look at it anew from the person you are now to when that memory maybe tied you down in the past and held you and burdened you in the past, looking at it from a perspective of the 0 point energy Fool card right now will literally take those shackles off your feet. You'll be able to reframe and reperceive what has happened, healing both inner child generationally and those to come after you. So you're on a very important cycle. You've got the Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Page of Wands is very like the Fool card. It's He has his staff. It's fire, the element of fire, but he's looking to the elements to say, what path should I take? It's not a charted course. He's sort of licking his finger and putting it up to see which way the wind blows. And he's totally comfortable with that because he has the knowing that no matter where he walks, how he walks, he's doing it as he was meant to be, and he's going to meet people as he was always written to meet. So there's a definite determination, but without restriction there on your path forward. So release, let go, release, let go. That's your mantra for the next week.
Cool. That was in the
Powerful.
movie Joe versus the volcano. Let the body go and the mind will follow.
That's
Anyway.
perfect, John. That is actually perfect for John.
Next one is Morgan Snow.
Morgan Snow. Morgan.
Hello, Morgan. Thank you for being a part of the group,
Yes,
the
Morgan.
tribe, the
Tower
fam,
card.
the
Welcome
clan,
to the
you
family.
know, yeah. I guess we would be technically a congregation coming together to seek knowledge, right?
Yeah, I like their feeling of that. I think there's too many spaces that aren't congregations for people who are spiritual. So, Morgan, we've got the Tower card, which is a major arcana. If you want to go more deeply into that, there is a video on my channel digging into the Tower card because it can seem a bit nerve-wracking or negative to some people when it comes up in a reading. And I'm not going to gaslight you in that the Tower comes up, you can see it's a pretty ominous card. You've got the black sky behind you. You see the lightning here striking off the egoic crown, so to speak. You've got the three windows, which would represent the trinity of you, and you've got people flying out of the window here, there, and everywhere. You have all of the elements basically, including this wave coming up behind it, cleansing this tower. So, what I want to say to you is where there feels like there's lots of disruption in your life and there's things and people being flung from your life almost. The elements doing it for you. You know, you're thinking, oh, I maybe need to separate myself from that group before you've even thought the thought. They're gone. You know, they've wiped you out. That's okay. The Tower card is things and labels that you've built up for yourself and for others and expectations would be housed here in this gold egoic crown. It's actually a divine light, a divine lightning strike that comes from within you, then as above, so below, comes from above you to strike off that which doesn't represent you anymore, which has actually been very pretty, but has been capping your energy off at the top here because it's a solid cap, it's a solid crown. So it's releasing this energy. You've probably been having a lot of, or are going to have a lot of Kundalini rising energies that make you feel, am I okay? Am I still on ground? Are my feet still touching the ground? And it is this energy, this vortex, this tower that is shaking everything off you like a dog shakes off fleas. Um, and you're left here. But what's left, the tower actually doesn't ever break down. There's not a tarot card with the tower where it's in crumbles at the end. The tower is actually the only thing that's left standing. The Trinity, the windows are cleansed by fire, divine fire, Kundalini energy. You're touched by the divine spark of self, taking off any labels that have been capping your energy off. So now we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. It feels like you're in chaotic waters. If this was in the upright, you can see that the chaotic waters are behind this family. They're behind these people, moving away um, from charted waters that they've known but that have been quite emotionally disruptive to uncharted waters that are more calm. You're sitting in this energy. This is in reverse for a reason. It's okay to sit in these chaotic energies. It's okay to wait until everything is shaken off to then assimilate to what are the messages, what's the recalibration I need to do here for self. But it's swords, it's not water. So this is about you speaking to your emotional body like you would speak to a body of water. Give thanks to it each day. Every day, set yourself a challenge for the first 3 days. Carry that on for 3 more days. Carry that on for three more until you recognize that this is a routine I've gotten into, which will naturally turn this card the right way up and take you into much calmer, charted waters, and probably have you move some distance. We've got the Four of Cups for the next card. So you can see this guy is sitting at the tree. Everything's crossed, so he's quite closed off, feeling quite vulnerable. He's looking at these three cups, these chalices in front of him that are upright, but they're not enough. But there's this divine cup emerging from the sky, to say, this is all you need, this is all you desire. Just take it, just look at it. But because you're still in this energy of the Six of Swords in reverse and the tower card right now, you're not feeling it. You're doing exactly what this guy is doing and not seeing what the divine, i.e., you, has to offer you. You will. This is just a transitional time. And if you can sit in it and actually say, no, I'm going to use this for my good, to feel what else can I let go of, or what else can I clutch a hold of that is either good for me, or that is good for me that it's not in my life anymore. Really let those wade in those waters, let them muddy up, let the grime and everything come up from the bottom, then let it settle. It's okay to be in these transitional points. But Morgan, you've got the Star card on the bottom of the deck, which is the underpinning energy of the whole reading, carrying you through this transition. So you can see she's a naked goddess. She's making a circuit board. She's got one knee on the ground. She's got a foot in the water, one knee adjacent with an elbow touching, and two jugs pouring at the same time. And many people will say, like the Palladian sister stars above her. It's this divine space that you get into of healing, of hope, of wholeness, where everything that you are, i.e., the tower after the elements are done with you, is naked and raw and bare. Nothing needs to be hidden. There's no knowledge of you that you need to hide away from anymore. This is a complete transmutation of all of this negative transition that you're going through right now, in order to really debride old wounds and be released anew on a level that you haven't felt for a long time, if ever.
Okay.
Cool.
Um, Next on our list is Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Bernadette. I think I remember the
Bernadette.
song of Bernadette.
I love that name.
It's a cool name. It is.
Yeah, you don't hear many Bernadette.
You don't know. You know, there are some really cool names I could think of. Agatha is one.
Oh, my first doll was called Agatha Nora. I
See?
loved it.
You know, it's one of those really cool names. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, she was one of those Cabbage Patch dolls. I loved her.
And they're worth a lot of money now. The ones, that
Oh,
it's
yeah, if I
amazing.
kept them nice, I played with them every day, but if I kept them nice, yeah, they'd be worth a fortune.
You
Mum
know,
always said that she wished she had kids that didn't really want to play with their toys, because I think the 80s and 90s toys were some of the best, for cult classics.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Even the what is it, the wrestling, is it
Oh, back in
WWA?
the day, yeah, the original Hulk Hogan
Those
and
those
Wendy.
caricatures. My brother
Yeah.
had all of those. Bernadette. So we've got the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So again, Bernadette, this is a transition point. Was there any topic to this, Wayne?
Yeah, I did not see one.
Okay. So the Five of Cups here, you can see there's three cups. There's three cups spilt in front of this guy, chalices. It looks very much like blood, wine, Holy Grail. Something has shook you emotionally over this period of time. It feels spilt. It feels you. There's a feeling of forlorn. You're feeling forlorn about something, or have been. But these Two of Cups behind you, a balanced new way of feeling and actioning those emotions, are right behind you. You might have already turned around and picked them up, and you might have already released what was in these cups emotionally for you that have spilt into the ground, to transmute, to reuse, and rebirth anew. The High Priestess card comes out for you. Major Arcanus. You can see the two pillars of knowledge, Boaz and Jashan. She's holding the scroll here of ancient wisdom. You can see here that she's got one foot on the moon, and you can see the other transitions of the moon here in a crown. And we've got the pomegranate curtain behind her. Pomegranates really symbolize divine femininity, but it also symbolizes a protective veil to the fruits, to the secrets within of the divine feminine. You're getting a lot of um, downloads, a lot of inner standings that you maybe had before regarding your divine feminine state, but maybe weren't channeling quite as deep. But you're really being this veil, this curtain, this pomegranate curtain is opening up to you and inviting you in regularly now for you to be able to process whatever this is. But it's not just about that. In you processing whatever the Five of Cups here is on a wider scale, you're reaching out to deep, deep wisdom and knowledge that you're just understanding, understanding in a newly perceived way, in a new way. You've heard things before, you hear them again, and it's like, but I know how to apply that in a different way now. So you're getting that inspiration. We've got the Three of Wands. So you can see here, this is fire. There's a lot of passion. There's the red cape over this guy, but you only see his back. He's looking far out into the future, the horizon, to the new. He's looking for a new path. Now, Three of Wands would say action. You've been in the planning stages, maybe during this period with the Five of Cups. You've been in the uncomfortable stages of where you're recognizing where you're uncomfortable, and you're already looking out with a more masculine energy of I'm ready to take action now to move forward on a new path, a horizon that hasn't been visited by you. But you have this stuff here for stability, and there's a passion and drive building in you. Um, and you're keeping it on the down low, and that's okay because you're in that energy of the divine feminine high priestess who is on the down low. Her wisdom is hidden for only those who can hear and see and perceive it in the correct way. It's divine, it's sacred. So having a passion and drive towards this and keeping it on the down low isn't always the way for manifestation, but it is a way that is definitely needed and required in certain things and in certain paths that you want to take for you to be able to manifest it freely without any negative connotations from others that might put you off. So we've got the 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, but it's in reverse for the last card. So it feels like here what has already been built up feels upside down now. So this is Pentacles, it's earth, it's income, it's housing, it's work, it's the car, but it's also nature. And it feels like maybe you're in a spot now that doesn't really suit you anymore, an environment that is physically not great for you anymore. And that's okay because you're already looking out to the future, to something else, to something that's going to fit you more in whatever this is that you've been processing. So, not totally comfortable, but very inspirational time, and a path forward is emerging.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Rarely do most people ever realize the minute a seed bursts and begins to sprout, or when life is given, you're very rarely aware of it. It's later down the road. So
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah, and you're thankful for it.
All right, so we have a guy, and James wants to know specifically about love.
Okay, James. Love, love,
Love will
James.
make you happy if you
James.
find someone to love. Remember that song? By the way, 1968, the group is Mercy, and the song is Love Will Make You Happy. It hit the Billboard Top 100 for approximately about, I think, 2 weeks. But yeah,
Thank you, DJ Steiger.
you're welcome. And now back to the hits.
Seamless, seamless. So for James, okay,
James in love in
James and love. So I'll
Love is
give
in
you
the
a
air.
different deck, James. So we've got the Seeker. Uh, Number 9, this is the Hermit in the traditional decks. So the Seeker here, you can see there's that lantern, that light, that inner glow of the wisdom and knowledge and how you apply it to self. And it's that 9, that realm of all the possibilities, but um, somewhat uncharted ground. So then we've got that underpins the whole energy, but then we've got the Ten of Cups. So there's a sense where you're asking about love, James, but you're also sort of time warping because your spirit is in the space that you've already accepted love into your life, very much so in a beautiful way. You can see here with this Ten of Cups. 10 being a full cycle fulfillment. It's a fountain in this deck, and it's solid. It's standing. It's attracting in life and color and so that's taken a lot of work to get there with that Seeker, i.e., the Hermit card on the bottom of the deck. That's taken a lot, maybe 2 years or more of you debriding that inner world of yours to do what we spoke about for the first reading of building that space, not looking for love before you have a space that it would be cherished and nourished in to grow. You've actually gone about it in such a beautiful way by debriding everything that would be negative towards love in your life. And you are in this space spiritually already of this Ten of Cups energy, which means it is already written that it's going to be coming into the physical pretty soon. So we've got the Six of Wands coming next. Now, the Six of Wands, fire again, the element of fire. So you've got water and fire, the divinity of co-creative powers, so to speak. The Six of Wands speaks to victory. It speaks to a challenge met. It speaks to, people coming home feeling like valor, feeling fulfilled. So, and 6 being the physical number as well, i.e., our physical bodies, the 6 protons, 6 neutron, and I think 6 electron as well. But it's like if you're bringing it from the emotional field that is unseen until actioned, and you're bringing it into the action field of the physical with the number 6. So the next card is synchronistically is the 6 of Swords. So where we're speaking of the Five of Swords being conflict, you've got the Six of Swords here that was in reverse for a prior reading. You've got it in the upright, so you can see here. I can't think. Can you see? There's the
Hmm.
swords here on the boat. Um, you've got the boat in still waters. Nothing's shaking off it. So there's this space where you've learned to speak to yourself in a wonderful way. You've learned to speak to your emotions, i.e., that's the only way you've gotten to the Ten of Cups at the start of the reading, because you've been challenged. You've been challenged to look at things within self, but you haven't been shy about doing the work to find that wholeness, that enlightenment, that love for self. So your true victory right now in the physical, when you're asking about love, I can already feel it burning inside of you. But finally, for you, that you've fallen in love with you a bit, or you're going to very deeply. And it's in that space that when you can feel that about you, that somebody is magnetized into your life super fast. Um, and probably quite a whirlwind type feeling when it comes in, even though you've been waiting for it, but you've been doing the work, James.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Next one on the list, we're hurrying this because we want to get as many as we
yeah.
can. Sally.
Sally.
Sally, I like that
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
Sally
Sally.
reminds me of a happy flower name.
Sassy.
It sounds like a happy day, doesn't it? A
It
happy day
does. It
name.
just it's a spirit word because it's the as opposed to a guttural, which is
Yeah.
more of a,
So,
physical.
Sally, we've got the Five of Swords for you. Minor Arcana, there's been conflict, lots of words being passed over and around you. We've got Lust, the Lust card. Woohoo! Sally, what have you been up to? Um,
Sassy.
Sally. So this maybe the conflict has come, or maybe the friction of the words that have been used, the thoughts that they've provoked in you, has actually awakened a lust in you, a passion, a drive. Um, so this could be reflective in any part of life. We then have the Seven of Swords. So this lust card, um, we've got we've got it sandwiched between a Five of Swords and a Seven of Swords here. So the Five of Swords you can see is like crossed here on the wall. Um, and we've got your flag here. So there's people trying to lay claim to things. The words that have been used could be deemed as negative, but more so for you, it's like you've used that friction of those words, like sandpaper, to create this fire that you've ignited within you. It's almost like this conflict has helped you find more of yourself, which is great. You're using whatever energies come your way for your greatness. You can see with this card in the middle, you're riding a horse bareback, naked. So, and we can see this passion coming up through you with this red. Yeah, she's all there on the horse. And so that friction again, not to be crass, on the horse, naked, raw, and just being yourself. There's friction there. So the friction in your life is actually causing this passion, this lust for something new, this drive to go forward at pace. So the Seven of Swords comes, and this would speak to intellectual property. This would speak to being careful about intellectual property, that you look after your interests regarding the wording, the verbiage that you share, being very careful about that, because there's something here that you're building in spirit with this passion and drive that is all yours to covet and know about right now while you build it. The Mother of Wands, i.e., the Queen of Wands, underpinning the reading would speak that this is the lady of full of creativity and fire and passion, but is actually really quite quietly poised in the physical life. Nobody quite knows what's going on underneath her skin, what she's building next, what she's creating next. You're in a creative space, go with it. Use the friction for your greatness. Any friction that comes to you that slows your horse down, out the door.
Sally, all I gotta say is go, girl, go.
Mhm. You
Um,
won.
woo, baby, I mean, I was getting excited, it's like, yeah, I mean,
Oh my
and
God, Joyce said Mustang Sally. Mustang Sally, that's the song, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Young
It isn't
Rascal
it?
sang that song. Thank you. And let us know. Let me
Yeah.
write back, and Jenny's YouTube channel link is there as well. All right, for the next one, I'll be curious on this. Trina.
Ooh,
Trina put her name almost immediately when she found out. So, all right. Since we all know Trina, and Trina, I don't know what was behind this.
that's okay, I
Well,
do.
we'll just see what the cards have to say. By the way, exciting readings. I mean,
Yeah, truly.
yeah,
So we've
yeah.
got the Eight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, my lovely sister, my Trina. We've got the Eight of Cups. You can see this divine being on this boat, and the Eight of Cups stacked up behind her. She's leaving something behind emotionally. She's going away from something emotionally, an emotional tie, something that was just maybe not even pulling you down, but just not right now, that maybe has been right in the past, but not right now. So emotionally, you're letting go, and this is quite a lot for you to do, but you're doing it with the right intent and in the right energies. And I want you to look at that card again, Trina, to know that you're doing that in the right energies. The wind is blowing away anything negative connotations of the energies of this movement emotionally away from something. Um, We've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you can see here the Nine of Swords, it feels gnarly. The Nine of Swords can be disturbed sleep, maybe going into different spiritual realms that are um, strange and take a bit of recalibration to get used to. So there's been maybe some interruptions to sleep during that time where you felt almost like a human dream of where, you're talking and you're naked and you realize suddenly you're naked in front of the whole university. You can see here this character on this card is like that, but it's ethereal. Look, it's thoughts. So there's something introducing itself to you, something very ancient introducing itself to you, I feel, in your sleep realm in particular. The Nine of Swords would speak to energies that aren't comfortable, that are quite chaotic in the thought realm, in the space where we have our thoughts. In this space, they can be quite ineffable. It's quite hard to grab a hold, and it feels like you've been attracting in a certain ancient being here. It really does. That is seeking your enlightenment. You're not quite sure what to make of that, whether to give your enlightenment fully or to be a bit pulled back. And
I
I
can hear
don't want to
Trina
give you that
saying,
insight.
"Holy shit!" I mean,
All right,
tell
yeah.
me, you tell me, Trina. I'm not interrupting the read, but tell me, isn't that exactly what you were thinking?
Got you again. So we've got the five of wands, this one in the middle. Lots of fives, lots of transition points, lots of
Yeah, and
friction.
a lot of people lives, by the way. Now, someone said everyone can take something from these readings.
Absolutely, absolutely. If it resonates with you, it's for you. Absolutely. If you're here and it resonates for you, then it's for you. That's absolute. So we've got here, you can see these guys really vulnerable, completely naked to the elements and also the ones that are aimed towards them. Again, it's a friction, it's a chaotic like energy, it's a combative energy. And almost maybe you're coming up against it because it's two men in this card. I know a darker skinned man and a white man, probably representing the yin and the yang, or that both parties can be come for the skin is just the skin kind of thing. This is more a spiritual thing, a spiritual attack. So this entity that is entertaining you, but the beings around it, they're just very different to how you are, and very different to how we are in general. Their mannerisms and stuff that are completely acceptable to them are quite nerve-wracking being introduced to for us and for you in particular. This Five of Wands would also speak to conflict around you, maybe two men having some sort of conflict, even in the ethereal realm, if they haven't got it into the physical realm yet, over you, which of course doesn't make any sense because nobody can be in conflict over you because you're not for ownership. But there's that attraction there, both in the physical and the etherical and thought. So we've got the Fool again in a different deck, but this Fool here, she's like an ice princess. She's got everything that she needs, everything in a little back what do you call those things, Wayne, with the where you wrap everything up in your rucksack?
Backpacks? Yeah, knapsack. Yeah.
Knapsack. So she's got everything she needs there, and the elements, the wind is behind her. There is rocky ground around her, but she's finding a path forward with ease. And this is where you are going into new and uncharted waters, maybe a little bit unplanned. And where you're going into these new and uncharted waters in the spiritual realm, they're going into you, so to speak, in your sleep. They're trying to contact you in your sleep. That's also being reflected in the physical realm too. You're more in
What?
your 0 point energy of, yeah, I'm just on my path, dudes. If you want to get in line and be in my resonance, great. If not, bye-bye. And that's that Eight of Cups again at the bottom of the deck, Trina.
All right, Trina, you got to tell us. That's all I got to say. All
Yeah.
right. By the way, I saw, Jen, you were talking about games, So the game of Risk is a good one. I'm glad your dad taught you that. When I was 5-year-old, they were giving us chemistry sets that actually had, uranium in them. I mean,
Yes.
the next one is, I'll be curious about this one, is Suzie Q.
Suzie Q.
Oh, Suzie Q.
Ooh,
Baby,
it's
I love
cute.
you. Suzie Q. Doom, doom, doom,
So we've
doom.
got the Seven of Cups, Seven of Chalices, Susie. Emotional field number seven, a bridging number from the spiritual to the physical. Also, your seven main energy points that are online regarding these seven cups, these seven emotions. Um, Linking into those energy points very much so. Some causing some chaos and imbalance, and some causing some quite clear thinking. So next we have the Seeker again for you. Um, Number nine, so seven and nine, and then we have the Sage of Cups, Knight of Cups. So you can see here the Seven of Cups. There's some of these chalices that they're under a organza-like veil of the river, so you can see they're totally immersed. Some of them are upright in the extreme flow, and some of them are tilted over onto the side in the flow. The Seven of Cups speaks to there's a lot going on that is pulling you emotionally here, there, and everywhere right now. Your different energy points are being pulled emotionally in all different directions. So it's hard to focus in on just one before another cup is spilling over, where you feel emotionally driven towards something, or emotionally fueled, either negatively or positively or both. It's connecting in with certain energy points. So then we've got the seeker. So the energy of the nine would be take a deep breath, do all of the meditation that I know you're so good at doing. Um, Really seek within self as to what actually belongs to you emotionally, or what is being manifested within you emotionally from the outside environment that you find yourself in. It would speak to uh, approaching yourself very much so, and also being approached by this energy. And this is if you want a Sage of Cups, you want him riding in on a big whale, don't you? So we've got him. He's riding. This is his chariot. He's got his cup, and this is a an honest progression forward of how there's nothing to be hidden from self here, and there's an invitation here with this Sage of Cups to really seek and hold up what is your divine cup, what is your divine chalice. When you do this inner work of this Hermit card here, and really focus in on this Seven of Cups as to which emotional pull am I feeling today, and where is it coming from? Where is it truly coming from? Is it something that belongs to me, or is it not? This is where you're able to go forward to really drill down till you get to the point of where you're holding your holy grail, and you're protecting it with everything that you should be, with all of your divinity, because it's precious and it's for nobody else to be embellishing, pulling on, or distorting. Um, we have the number five, the initiator. So in this card, you can see here, there's two people bound either side, and there's this initiation going on. It feels like you're maybe being pulled in directions from magic. It sounds out there, I know, but from magic that is being put out there, that your emotional field, for whatever reason, is picking up on, or the people around you. And you're going through this initiation process, but it's not your initiation. Your initiation lies with the nine, this seeker that you're so great at doing, of being able to go within and finding where your initiation dwells there, outside of the confusion of these Seven of Cups.
Wow. Okay.
Deep.
Woo.
Whew.
Okay. Next one on our list is open-minded. And I didn't
Open-minded.
have anything behind that, so
Okay. Dragon.
we're probably going to go a little bit over because I'm going to try to get in, oh, one,
No.
two, three, four, 7 or 8 if we can.
Okay. So open-minded, we've got the Ten of Cups for you, but it's a different deck. A lot of synchronistic energies swirling around everybody. Um, so
Yeah.
speaks to emotional fulfillment, open-minded. It speaks to a wholeness that you're finding within yourself that you maybe haven't experienced before, or it's been very transient. Um, and there's a feeling of, have you fully let yourself go yet into that Ten of Cups energy? Or is it a little bit that, because things can be quite hard in this realm sometimes, that it's almost frightening to feel fulfilled emotionally because you're already preparing yourself for when it might be a little bit disturbed or pulled away or a little bit imbalanced by something happening on the wider stage or within your own life. Drop into this feeling open-minded, sink into it like you're sinking into the most luxurious mattress made of feather. Allow yourself to truly be enveloped by this feeling that you've built around yourself, within yourself, with all of the work that you've done. Allow yourself to truly bask in the bliss of wholeness emotionally. One, because that's going to make it last longer. And two, when you do get knocked off your Ten of Cups, which we all do every now and again, you know exactly how to get yourself back there again because you've programmed your body to receive that emotional field of wholeness and stillness and okayness in a way that isn't threatening, and you're not thinking about but when, but when. So enjoy it now, be enveloped by it now. We've got the Knight of Coins on the and as the next card. So this is Pentacles, Earth. This is a very this is a very thought out path. This is a pathway forward that you've been thinking of in the physical space, whether that be work, income, family, home, location, things that you can feel, touch, see, even smell. The physical goes into those realms that you can't see but feel. So this is you planning out, plotting a path forward from a wholeness space emotionally. Now, you might tell yourself that you've plotted the same path forward or similar path forward before. What's the point of trying again? You haven't done it from a Ten of Cups space. You haven't done it from that foundation before. So the path this time is very different. Now we have the King of Swords, an authority figure, i.e., you becoming that authority figure, having plotted this path and attained the goals and the physical that you wish to attain. But this King of Swords is the alchemist of thought. There's no BS in there. Anything that is not of use, of productivity, is recognized, then set aside. So that's speaking to you in your own life as well, that start to be a little bit more regulated about what your time's worth to people, what your words are worth to people. Don't cast your pearls before swine, so to speak. The King of Swords doesn't do that, and this is about you feeling your way into whatever this professionalism is or this adepthood is with this path that you're plotting here. Be it before you see it. Experience it in this Ten of Cups before it becomes manifest. Seven of Swords, again, a different deck. Intellectual property is yours. Keep your mouth quite closed. Tell us whether there's something brewing here, but don't tell us much more right now, as the cards would say. That would be the guidance. Keep your intellectual property. Um, on lockdown for now while you plot this path forward. It's exciting and you might want to share things as they develop. Be very careful about that.
I love this. Okay, next one, and will be Wendy. And Wendy
When
has stormy eyes, the flash at the sound of lies.
it's a
Anyway,
real retro feel today because I'm thinking my Wendy house when I was a kid, when I hear the name Wendy. I
yeah,
had a Wendy house and it was a house for the garden where you could pretend it was your house. Um, I
I
was
have a
very
cousin
different.
named Wendy, and her and I are the same age, and yeah, and so that song came out, by the association. This is your DJ, and anyway, So here you go, Wendy.
Here you go, Wendy. We've got justice. Number 11, Major Arcana. This speaks to you may be waiting for justice outside of self from the physical world, i.e., remuneration, a judgment, a decision that's going to go in your favor. But the inner work here for the Nine of Swords, like Trina, is to remap your thinking. It has to do with home environment, with the Four of Wands here as the next card. So this is about you finding that balance point within self where you actually don't look outside of anything else to justify what your justice should look like, that your justice is done by the way that you feel towards yourself, not to justify yourself to self, but to feel justified in your right to be free, in your right to not be conned, in your right to not be used. This is what will attract in whatever decision it is that you're waiting for, or whatever transition period in your life that you're waiting for to come in your favor, in true balance. So on these scales here, we have the dragon with the divine moon holding it, and we have the fire on one side and the feather on the other. Let your heart be as light as that feather. Let your heart be at absolute peace. Let your mind, your thoughts be at absolute peace about you being deserving of a balanced, justified space to be in. It does relate a lot to the home with the Four of Wands, Wendy. It's funny I said about the Wendy house before the Four of Wands came in. There's either a change of home or something about your home that you need some remuneration for or some more respect towards. That's coming in, but it comes in from within. So I want you to really do some inner work this week about you being justified in your right to feel this, to see this, to be this, to draw this in. In fact, you're not asking for any kind of remuneration or action from any outside force in the wisdom of these cards. You're actually just drawing it in from the ethers. You don't care where it comes from. You don't care where that remuneration or that decision comes from that is in your favor. You just speak it out from the ethers. You absolutely negate any other parties that have been difficult in this process, and you go straight to the ethers and draw it from the universe. And the universe is your cash cow right now. It's very activated to want to give you what you feel justified to receive. We've got the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Again, a different deck with the Six of Wands, but that's victory. That's a victory lap. That's you raising your wands with valor and a feeling of fulfillment and feeling justified in whatever decision comes in. But again, think about your sleep and increase your magnesiums.
Oh, victory, we say. All
Mhm.
right. So I've just seen him. I love the chat room. We don't get a chance to really, peer in on that. So, I was born in 55, and I actually have one of my stuffed animals, which would make that pretty old.
Wow.
Do any of the rest of you, if you've collected something from your youth or your childhood, how old is it? All right, so the next one, and we're getting through this. Like I said, we'll try to go about, another 15 minutes, or Jenny, as
Yeah.
long as you can still hold up. Barbara,
Barbara.
and again, I have nothing behind on this one.
Okay. Barbara, bicarb of soda is great to use on your teeth, but balance it out with some coconut oil or it becomes too abrasive. Um, Whether that question's going to come up in your mind or whether that's going to be healthy for your mouth in the near future or it already has been, balance it out with some aloe vera or some coconut oil. Okay, Barbara. So you've got three major arcanas. Okay. So the energy is strong with this one. So we've got the Hermit card again, different deck for the Hermit, but number 9, it wants to be seen. It is about the inside job right now. It always is, but it's paramount right now. So again, the same message as Barbara of going within, not being afraid to just feel and assimilate yourself to the feelings that you feel when you enter into a cave within self. Allow the lantern to slightly glow up a corner of self and allow your either your inner child or your water memory to bring something forward that needs to be looked at. Might just need to be looked at and let go of, and that might be all that needs to be done. But there's multiple processes of this that I see you doing and being required to do from spirit. The hangman. So you can see here it's the hangman, the hanging dragon, a major arcana again. It's hanging from a tree in this one. So it's hanging upside down. In the traditional deck, the hangman looks like the Fool card with the ballet type pose, but upside down. So it's about being in stillness right now. It's about going into the upside down to actually see the right way up, so to speak. It's Odin going to the tree to assimilate to the tree, to the roots, to the universe, to figure out what runes would speak and be bridging keys to the universe for his magic. This is the same tree that you're going to. It's the lifeblood tree where you go to hang yourself to die unto that tree in order to see anew and see literally from a completely different perspective. It can feel frustrating at times, but the Hermit card and this Hangman, I'm sure this is the one that Elderberry hates, um, speaks of this stillness actually feeling very invigorating. You're doing very deep work right now, very deep spiritual work that is, I can guarantee you, electrifying the ethers. So thank you for your inner work. Thank you for what you're doing because it's reaching out and it's be creating an imprint, an energetic imprint wherever you do this work on the outside of you. We've got the strength card here. So you can see this strength card. There's the lion and the dragon and the divine feminine, divine masculine snakes coming up the sword here, the sword of strength, which is your clarity, your inspiration, your thoughts, your ability to think, and finding that balance between divine feminine and divine masculine in order to find your strength in the 8, the infinite space that is within the 9. So you really are doing amazing, deep level work here to shift and form and build not just for yourself, but in doing that, it's like you're building castles in the sky. I'm not sure if there's a song about that. There's a song that you love, maybe Barbara, but castles in the sky is what you're building as you're building your castles within. Super
Yeah, I
wonderful,
got the word healing too. Very,
very
there's a
healing. I
healing
mean, this is
going.
like
Yeah, deep
this is
healing.
deep trench, like get in there,
Yeah.
spruce clean. This is like going into the depths of self with these 3 major arcanas together and the energy that's swirling around this lady. It's divine. It's actually quite beautiful to witness. So thank you for asking for a reading. It's quite inspirational to feel and witness on your behalf. We've got the Ace of Coins on the bottom of the deck, just quickly, literally building a new physical reality for yourself with all of this inner work where it's a bit like you're walking round through the day and other people are just walking past this divine being that is literally in the spiritual and etherical trenches of self, transforming generational curses and generational blessings and transitioning to new neural pathways. And they're just walking past you in the supermarket. That's mad to me, but you're rocking it, so you're building this new physical space. Also a lot of abundance coming in with this. And again, you're learning to just call it from the ethers rather than anyone else.
Talk about walking on sunshine. By the way, I got an email from Bernadette. She said to tell you spot on.
Oh, fabulous, Bernadette.
So there you go. All right. The next one I have on my list is Deborah.
Deborah. Deborah Sloan.
I'm assuming, yes.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
is.
Again, nothing behind that. And
The World
so,
card.
ah,
So that's another major arcana. Hasn't come out. It's very full of major arcanas for short readings. I'm just catching
I haven't
cards.
heard of the love card yet.
And the lovers. No, Lusters of
Oh,
the Coast.
lovers. Oh, okay.
So okay. We've got the World card, Deborah. You can see here this beautiful dragon is literally in the shape of the world, but there's the world within its belly. Dragons covet their pearls traditionally in mythology, and it's like this dragon is covered in this world. Uh, there's a wrapping of your hands around the world right now, Deborah, and it's a beautiful thing. But actually, there's also a world within you that is being created, an inner world that you've maybe been retreating to build a space of where everything is possible. And you really, it feels like, I don't know why marbles are coming up, Deborah, whether you sometimes have felt at times where like you've lost your marbles over the last few weeks, or whether there's kids around you that have marbles. But marbles are coming up around you, and it's about no, you there's there's a loss in things in order to gain so much more. And it feels like your world is coming into a more peaceful state. And that peace is like this peace that surpasses all understanding. You're enveloped and encapsulated by this dragon, this divine feminine ancient being that is around you, wrapping its arms around you, but also at the same time it is you, and you've got the whole world in your hands, so to speak. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here as the next card. Again, this was in another reading, but in reverse. So this is speaking to the hard work that you've put in. It's also speaking to some level of inheritance that is due to you, either just from the spiritual world, from time gone by, and it's just time for it to drop into your life right now, or maybe something that has happened that has caused a sadness over the last few weeks to months. But there's an inheritance here that is going to help you furnish this new world that you've been building, so to speak, in the physical realm. Then we've got the Ten of Cups, Deborah. Again, synchronistic. I dropped this deck and picked it back up again and shook it. The Ten of Cups, all of this work, absolutely developing into a wholeness, a sense of uh, appreciation for what you've been able to build and manifest. You've almost like proved a lot of the studying that you've done over the years of spirituality and manifestation and all of these different beautiful subjects. But it's like something has clicked, or the frequencies are just right for you right now, where you're applying them and they're coming into fruition. And so this is where you feel absolute glee and bliss and joy at recognizing that, just like Wayne said earlier in the show, that seed that you planted has grown into a whole damn world. It's you look back and think, yeah, I've got it all that I need there. We've got the
I
Hermit
got the
card.
world on a string.
It wants to know but you've already been in that hermit energy, and the Knight of Swords is speaking to me right now. Now, this Knight of Swords is fast. It comes in with messages like the wind. It's as quick as you can say a word. That is the Knight of Swords. It feels like there's some really heavy duty, fast messaging coming in after this whole time where you've been covered in and cuddling and nurturing this world that you've been building. Boom, this Knight of Swords comes in and said, are you ready for action? Are you ready to go? And you sort of are, but you've been in this space of like swaddling yourself that it's a bit like, oh, okay, all right then, I'll come. I'll just get my shoes kind of thing. That kind of energy, that kind of messaging coming in. But you're ready to take the action for sure, Deborah. It's my mom's.
Okay. Getting right on the list here. Colleen. And
Colleen.
Colleen, you never said anything behind it, dear, so we're just going to see what the tarot has to say. And it's very interesting to see the synchronicity. Talk about weaving a tapestry.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
trying to use different decks that are calling out different
yeah.
people too. Energies are the energies. And we are so synchronistic in this group.
Oh, there is. I mean, it's heavily anointed, as they would say.
Colleen, we've got the Six of Pentacles for you. Uh, Again, the six we mentioned, the physical being, but also the Pentacles being earth, physical things that you can feel, touch, and see. We have got the Ace of Wands for you, and then we've got the Tower again in a completely different deck. So again, there's that Tower card there for you. Um, the Six of Pentacles speaks of a giving nature, but there needs to be a balance to that giving and receiving, and maybe there needs to be a rethinking of where you've been given your physical means to, as to where you should be coveting it or where you should be giving it to. There's a rethinking of that, and maybe that's come in with some knowledge that's come forward about a certain energy, or you don't quite like what's been done with your pentacles or your time or your labor. Um, and that's good because then you've got this Ace of Wands. So we've gone from um, workers working on behalf of others in this card to this Ace of Wands character. And I mean, this dude is just ready to go. He's not even relying on his wand. He's sort of tilting his wand in a way to say, I could take it or leave it, but I like it, but he's still feeling the weather. He's still feeling his way forward. He has this red, this passionate sash, but also this white, pure skirt on, which would speak to there's a purity in the mission. It's not that you're having regrets of where your time or energy or physical means have gone to, but there is a rethinking, a redirection that feels much stronger and much more forceful. In that, the Tower card comes up. Now, it feels like quite an odd arrangement of the cards for this reading, but it is what it is. This determination, it feels like you're actually like Susie was initiating something, you're initiating your own tower moment, which again, very brave. Kudos to you. Because that's a very that's exactly the kind of person I want to walk beside. Because if you're ready to say, I'll ignite the tower, never mind me waiting for you to ignite it, or you, or that, or this. I'll just set the elements in there, and you've opened the doors and the waves have come in. You've set the lighter against the gas pipe and the flames have come up. And then you're literally saying, come on, lightning, hurry up. I need you to initiate this energy. There are things in my life I'm ready to shake off. There are things in my life that I'm ready to uh, uh, let go, decompress from, be away from. And so the Tower card wasn't really necessarily having to come in for you, but it's like a little bit like if you've got some pests in your house, some people would phone the bug extinguisher person and I don't know what you call them, and because say, could you please come and sort this out? It's like you're just saying bye house and lighting a match on your way out and saying, yeah, they can have it, raise it to the ground. I don't need it. There's a new direction. And that new direction is very forthright, very passionate, and very driven. We've got the King of Wands on the bottom of this deck. The King of Wands is very open in dialogue, a people person, very charismatic. And it feels linked to this new boldness, this new direction, this charismatic energy that's around you in your life that is quite happy for you to set this tower aflame and initiate it for yourself. And why not? People sort of think the tower card has to come in when it does, and oh dear, when it does, we don't like it. You're just like, I'll get it over with. The more I initiate it myself, the less painful it is. So, well done. The first.
If you're going to own it, walk it. That's why I got to say. I mean,
I can feel it.
wow. Wow.
Heavy.
All right. Adriel is next.
Gabriel.
Adriel.
Adriel.
Adriel. Adriel.
Adriel.
How are you? Good to see you.
Sounds sea creature like mermaid-esque, doesn't it? The
Yes, it
Adriel.
does. It's definitely well, I know from my Hebrew, any name that ends in EL or IEL is El, God.
God.
So there's God in her name. And I'm
And
assuming it's a her.
Ada, who's Ada in the stories? That's the
Yeah.
Ada's quite a strong
Yeah.
persona as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? So we've got the five, the Hierophant, lots of fives, but the fives have come in different suits. So the Hierophant you can see here is the divine masculine side of the High Priestess that you saw earlier. So you have the same pillars of knowledge here up at either side of him, behind him, and they're behind him for a reason. They're behind the high priestess for a reason. It's because that's the wisdom and knowledge learned and applied, and in the toolkit. But he stands in front of them as a protective mechanism, also because it's divine sacred wisdom. We all know what that looks like in the wrong hands. So this Hierophant card speaks to the esoteric, mesoteric, and exoteric, the trinity of those messaging fields. So it would speak to like the
It's a he.
spiritual.
Adriel's
Yeah,
a he.
he.
Yes.
Oh, Adriel. Yeah,
Adriel.
that. So this would speak to this would speak to you as well, in that this is the more masculine card of that. So if you're looking at the esoteric, mesoteric, and exoteric side of things, it's about how you apply the different wisdoms and the same wisdoms uh, and knowledges. With how do you apply the same knowledge with wisdom in those different spheres of life? So that would be from the micro to the macro. How does the same wisdom apply? There's lots of wisdoms being given to you that you're being trusted with, that you're being um, see this. You can't, I don't know if you can see them, but on these pillars, there's sort of etchings, hieroglyphs here.
Yeah. Yes.
Speaks much to like the hanging dragon in the previous reading of that Odin's tree, returning to the wisdom and knowledge in order to get the keys. But this feels more like Solomon key type, to be in a stand in some of that wisdom and how you apply it in your life on those different levels. It would be helpful for you to look up those different levels. Five, again, being a changing point, being a growth point, a separation point, where you can either regress or progress in the suit of 10. And you're in that space where you just applying the wisdom and knowledge and moving forward with the King of Swords. King of Swords came up earlier. One of the other things about the King of Swords is he's a planner, he's a negotiator, he's a strategist, and he actually gets off on strategizing in the most excellent manner. And he does that by being very focused, very much full of clarity. Clarity style fueled meditations would be great for you right now, Adriel. Getting your feet in the water and using your mind and thoughts at the same time. So you're applying your thoughts to the body of water within self and around self would be super helpful. So you've got this King of Swords here, suffers no fools gladly. He's got his plans on his scroll. It's mapped out. It's asking you in this energy to have more of this authoritarian vibe to you, not in a way to be negative or aggressive to anybody, but to see authority in the divine sense, i.e., that you deserve respect, you deserve reverence, most of all from self, and others around you should fall in line with that or not, but maybe just not be around you. And that would be the King of Swords type of energy. The Seven of Pentacles comes in. Now, this is the physical space. You can see here this lady who is balancing a lot in her life still has time to give this loaf of bread to this needy man. The seven is a spiritual number, so I often see in this deck that man as an etherical being, allowing a contact with this lady. It's telling me here the kindnesses that are shown to you, but more so the kindnesses that you take time and show to others, especially from this state of authority, is received so well and is marked through the universe with each kindness that you give to the right person. And that's what I don't want to end up being toxic in your life, that you maybe have given to the wrong people or in the wrong energy or intent before, that hasn't felt great as a result in the end. You're in a different space now with this Hierophant card. You're in a much more mature space as to how to apply knowledge, but with wisdom, how to apply your kindness, that is true kindness, that is a stepping stone for true growth for the right people. Um, we have the three of wands again in another card. We had that previously. This speaks to if the two of wands is the king of swords here in that strategy phase, that planning phase, then the three of wands is action, taking action. You can see here everything's in motion. The cows are working, the people are working, the seeds are sown. There's an action plan towards a harvest, and that speaks it speaks beautifully of being kind to those who you meet along your way on the path, but stay focused in your strategy. Allow your knowledge and wisdom to come through you and use your intuition and don't second guess yourself as much regarding the wisdoms that you're getting. You've got a lot of good things to say. And then, put in the action, don't procrastinate, put in the action to actually set things in motion. Very good.
Wow. Well, okay, everyone. Jenny, if you'd like to come back, again, we could go for a couple hours, but I know our time is on this, and I've got a heck of a storm coming in behind me. So,
Oh,
um, just let me know. We didn't get to everybody. I apologize, but the list
sorry.
was
We'll
really
just go
long.
straight into it next time. We can
Yeah.
just say hi and go straight into it. If I've got the names previous, I can maybe pull the cards
I'll
for the.
do that. I've got She Owls and Skies Above and Nancy, so I'll send those to you, and you can maybe pull the cards, and we'll
Yeah.
let them know. Yeah,
And then
yeah,
we can fit other people in then who
yeah,
maybe are in the chat. So I
yeah.
could do that next um Thursday, I think would be okay again, if that's okay with
Next
you.
Thursday it is.
Yeah, I'm
It's
good
a
for Thursday. I'm
it
just looking. Yeah,
yeah.
perfect.
It's a date, lady. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
it
you going to
is.
pick me up, or am I going to have to, send a
Are
car
you
for you?
round? You've got plenty of practice in that bus. Oh, do be up ready for
Got
vacation.
Bentley going, if it's got food, let me know about it. Yeah. All right, everybody. So next week, the folks that I have on this list, I am going to let Jenny know about. And so tune in next Thursday, and you folks will be at the top of the list. So we
Well,
love all of you. Jenny, thank you, sweetie. It's so good of you. I just speak a hundredfold return because you've sown time, energy, and of your talent. And I just send that prosperity back to you
thank
all the way.
you.
And the rest of y'all, if you've not subscribed to Jenny's channel, do it.
Yeah, yeah, I've come back on there. The thing's dried up. So yes, if people want to go there, I'll meet you there. I'll go and
Yeah,
I'll put but check out the website and the blog that I've got put up there right now. I'm enjoying doing the blog. So we've got it's www.hecate with a hyphen.com. But I'll give that to Wayne. But have a look at that and see my offerings.
there you go. And subscribe. She should be over. It's it's
Oh,
it's
I'm so shadow banned.
it's criminal. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
sweetie,
It
you
is.
should be. I'm just going to say this, it should be well into the thousands. That's all I'm going to
Well,
say.
in the early few weeks of me starting the channel, it jumped up beyond 1,000, and then I put out a video in my truthful stance. As per, it was just tarot as to what I was seeing on the wider world, and bang, two strikes again, and the numbers just went pew. So it's definitely shadow banning. YouTube, we love you. And there's two strikes and
Get thee
never did.
behind me, you know? It's like, oh, well, we love all of you. Thank you. Make sure that, you do subscribe to Jenny's
I
channel
will.
and
Yeah.
because, well, it's the right thing to do. And
Oh,
just consider it a seed, you know?
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And I do. I appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah.
Anybody that started over there will
And then
tell
go
you
to
that.
her store. You have your store set up, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's all there. All the
Yeah,
details there are
see?
now of the website and stuff that I've built, and it's a nice space. I want to build it into a space that people can check in with each other on, and also check out what I'm offering. But also the courses will be posted up there as well, that I'm planning on doing, what have written. Just need the right dates for it. So the courses and stuff, so events will be posted up there as well. So it'd be great to have people subscribe to the website too.
Let's support her. That's
Thank
all I
you.
got to say. That's it.
I
It's the right
appreciate
thing to
that.
do. All
I
right,
appreciate
folks, we'll see y'all tomorrow, and hopefully. And Dr. Hugh, thank you. He was following you and giving a summary as well. I like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
was he? I
yeah. You
love
have to
this.
go
I
back and
love
look in the
Dr.
chat.
Hughes.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
Dr. Hughes' take on things
yeah.
often.
That is really cool. John Price says I've been subscribed. Well, make sure you're still subscribed. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. They keep taking people off. I had a little bit of a jump the other day when me, you, and Trina had been on, and then they took two more off again. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, we're
All
just
right,
starting
folks, let's
people out
just blow
now.
past that. Make sure you're subscribed. I'd like to see you get up to that 1,000 mark again, and that's the right thing to do. So,
Yeah, I'll put the website link because Susie's great, but I haven't given her that link yet. So
okay.
she's saying that. So I'll stick it in the chat room. That would be
All right,
great.
everyone. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. And there you, I saw what you just did. And
Yeah.
I'll see you next Tuesday with Miss Trina for sure.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank y'all. Have yourself a fabulous day. So they say I keep cutting it off, but really it's not me. It's the channel.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube
So
again.
we're just going to talk like we're going to talk after. So yeah,
So
that will
love and
just
peace
yeah,
and
that'll
motion
be a flow.
going, and we send you all blessings.